Let's go back through the corridors of time, where shadows of unimaginable terror lurked in every corner of the ancient world. These aggressive and fierce creatures were titans of terror and intimidating hunters with endless cravings that made them deadly predators of their ecosystems.
With these incredibly powerful forelimbs, it would pull down its prey before dispatching it with these terrifying teeth.
From massive carnivores that dominated their prey to sneaky hunters that struck with brutal precision, these creatures were the ultimate nightmares of their time. But now, they're mere whispers of fossil records with terrifying stories of survival, dominance, and death.
And a fossil of its enormous jaws has been now found off Dorset's Jurassic coast.
Join us as we reveal 20 deadliest animals that went extinct. Number 20, Titanoboa. About 60 million years ago, in the thick, ancient rainforests of South America, lived a massive snake called Titanoboa. This giant snake, which was about 40 feet long and weighed over a ton, was the largest snake ever discovered, and just like its size, it had an unmatched appetite. Titanoboa ruled the Paleocene epoch after the dinosaurs had vanished, filling a void at the top of the food chain. Its size alone made it an apex predator, capable of hunting large prey, including giant turtles and even primitive crocodiles. Its method? Constriction. Titanoboa would coil its massive body around its victim, suffocating it before swallowing it whole. The discovery of Titanoboa fossils in a Colombian coal mine in 2009 revealed a spine-tingling chapter of Earth's history. But the most fascinating thing was that the fossils included remains of about 30 individuals, both adults and juveniles. We all know what that means, but how did it get so big? What's the secret to its terrifying size? And how did they become extinct? You see, back in the Paleocene epoch, the heat was cranked up to 11, and that scorching hot environment was just what this cold-blooded monster needed to thrive and grow. Thankfully now, we can all breathe a sigh of relief that this nightmare is permanently extinct, or else our nightmares would have a new star attraction. Number 19, Spinosaurus. This is one of the largest and most terrifying predatory dinosaurs to ever walk the earth. Unlike any other predator, this beast stood up to 59 feet long, dwarfing the infamous T-Rex and making it look like a mere appetizer. But it wasn't just its sheer size that made Spinosaurus unstoppable. This beast was equipped with adaptations that would make even the bravest of souls tremble in fear. It had a massive sail of over 6 feet on its back, giving it an imposing and otherworldly appearance. And let's not forget about its crocodile-like snout, packed with razor-sharp teeth that could slice through flesh like a hot knife through butter. Spinosaurus was not just built to dominate its prey, it was designed to instill pure terror in anything that crossed its path. What set Spinosaurus apart from the rest of the predators of its time was its remarkable ability to hunt both on land and in water. This monster was a master of both realms, making it the ultimate threat to any unsuspecting creature. Fish, turtles, and even other dinosaurs were no match for its lightning-fast strikes. One moment, they were peacefully swimming or grazing, and the next moment, bam. They found themselves face to face with the most efficient killing machine nature had ever produced. Number 18, Arthropleura. This nightmare-inducing beast is the largest known land-dwelling arthropod to have ever roamed the earth. During the Carboniferous period, around 300 million years ago, this massive millipede relative terrorized the dense, swampy forests it called home, growing up to a staggering 8.5 feet in length. But make no mistake, Arthropleura's immense size was not just for show. Its armored, segmented body provided the perfect defense, while its numerous legs granted it a surprising level of swiftness. Just imagine trying to outrun an 8-foot-long armored millipede. Not exactly possible, right? So the next time you take a stroll through the woods, spare a thought for the ancient terror that once lurked beneath your feet. After all, you never know what monstrous secrets may still be hidden in the depths of the forest. Number 17, Smilodon.
This is a Smilodon, or a saber-toothed cat. They are commonly referred to as saber-toothed tigers, but this is incorrect.
Often miscalled as a saber-toothed tiger, Smilodon was far more dangerous. It had a robust, muscular build designed for ambushing and overpowering prey. Its most fearsome feature? 2 massive, dagger-like canine teeth stretching up to 7 inches long. These teeth weren't just for show. Smilodon would use them to deliver precise, bone-crushing bites to the neck or skull of its prey. Weighing up to 900 pounds with powerful forelimbs and retractable claws, Smilodon could take down massive creatures like bison, camels, and even young mammoths. It didn't chase its prey. It waited, hidden until the perfect moment to pounce, its jaws delivering a swift and deadly strike. Once those fangs pierced the skin, there was no escape. Smilodon was first discovered in the La Brea tar pits in Los Angeles in 1875, where hundreds of fossils were found trapped in the tar.
When you sort of step in, all it requires is stepping in a few inches even to begin to get stuck and unable to move yourself out.
Its discovery painted a grim picture of prehistoric life, where even the most massive creatures had to live in constant fear of this relentless, fang-bearing predator. In Smilodon's world, one wrong move could spell certain doom. But can you guess what really caused their extinction? The Ice Age. As the Ice Age ended, the mighty Smilodon faced a slow and agonizing extinction. The warming climate wiped out the very creatures that Smilodon relied on for survival. Unable to adapt to the rapid changes, Smilodon's reign ended, and its massive fangs are now relics. Number 16. Gigantopithecus. What's the scariest animal you know today? Well, the Gigantopithecus is far worse. This animal is the only creature that can defeat a gorilla. This creature was so massive, it towered over early humans, standing at nearly 10 feet tall, weighing over 1,000 pounds, and roamed the dense jungles of Southeast Asia over 100,000 years ago.
Also evidence that there was an animal that was a bipedal hominid that lived alongside of human beings.
Oh, interesting.
An
I actually hadn't
enormous
looked into
one.
this.
An
Yeah.
enormous one. It's called Gigantopithecus.
With its immense size, thick, powerful limbs, and sharp, crushing teeth, Gigantopithecus was an unstoppable force in its time. Its diet primarily consisted of bamboo, but legends suggest this beast could have easily crushed bones with a single bite if threatened. The first fossils of Gigantopithecus were discovered in 1935, where massive teeth were being sold as dragon bones. These teeth hinted at the terrifying size of the creature that once lived. Gigantopithecus's downfall came as the climate changed and its forest habitats shrank. Unable to adapt to a more open, grassland environment or compete for food with other species, this giant slowly vanished into extinction, leaving behind only fossils and myths of a true jungle monster. Number 15. Carnotaurus. Deep in the prehistoric jungles of South America, Carnotaurus reigned as one of the deadliest predators to ever walk the earth. Known as the meat-eating bull, this terrifying creature roamed about 70 million years ago, standing nearly 10 feet tall and reaching lengths of over 25 feet. But what made Carnotaurus truly terrifying were its unique features. Two massive horns above its eyes, giving it a fearsome, almost demonic appearance, and its lightning-fast speed. With a sleek, muscular body and long, powerful legs, it could sprint after prey, closing in with terrifying agility. One theory for its extinction is a massive asteroid strike. This event changed Earth's climate and wiped out all non-avian dinosaurs, ending the reign of this terrifying beast. Number 14. Megalodon. Beneath the dark depths of ancient oceans, this terror, unlike anything alive today, roamed. It was massive, fast, dangerous, and still remains the largest and deadliest shark ever to exist. This monstrous predator, stretching up to 60 feet long, was an unstoppable force of nature. Its jaws alone were over 10 feet, packed with razor-sharp teeth as large as a human hand.
Its teeth were huge.
6 to maybe 7 inches long, wickedly serrated on either side like steak knives and shaped like a big, broad triangle.
Capable of crushing bone and tearing through the toughest flesh with ease. Anything unlucky enough to cross Megalodon's path, from whales to giant sea turtles, faced a gruesome fate. Unlike modern sharks, Megalodon had a terrifying bite force, stronger than a Tyrannosaurus rex, that could slice through prey with brutal efficiency. With a body built for power and speed, this predator could swim at incredible speeds to ambush its victims, unleashing its jaws with devastating force. Fossils of Megalodon, including its enormous teeth, have been found all over the world, from North America to Europe, with the first tooth discovered in the early 1600s. And although these species went extinct around 3 million years ago, they still haunt our imaginations. Number 13. Joseph Artigasia. We all know rats can be pretty annoying, right? Even as tiny as they are, they cause a whole lot of trouble. But just think about this for a second. You go to open the door of your store one day, expecting to see the usual pesky rat, and instead, you come face to face with this, a Josephus. We're talking about a creature that weighed over 1,000 pounds and stretched up to a whopping 9 feet long. With its thick fur, powerful jaws, and ever-growing in sizes, Josephus wasn't just big, it was downright terrifying. Its teeth were so strong they could crush tough vegetation and even crush bones. Fossils of Josephus were discovered in Uruguay, where scientists marveled at the sheer size and adaptations of this prehistoric giant. Unlike today's timid rodents, this creature was a dominant herbivore, likely roaming lush landscapes and living in large groups for protection against predators. Experts think those big teeth were more for self-defense or maybe for digging up some roots. Some even say they used them to battle it out for territory, especially since they coexisted with those scary terror birds. Those huge teeth probably came in handy for protecting themselves from being lunch for those predators. Their bite force was over 900 pounds, which is 3 times stronger than today's average tiger bite. Combine that with their massive size and you've got one intimidating sight. Speaking of intimidating sight, what would you do if you suddenly ran into a lion on a dark road? Scream, run, or maybe even faint from the shock? But this particular lion we're about to show you is far different from anything you've seen. Number 12. Black lion. We all have a certain image of what a lion should look like in our head. Majestic, swift, with a golden to deep brown mane, ruling the savannah as the king of the jungle. But have you ever heard of the legendary black lion? This lion looks like nothing you've seen before. The Ethiopian black-maned lion, also known as the Abyssinian lion, is a rare and unique variant of the African lion. These majestic creatures are known for their dark fur and striking appearance. These lions have evolved thicker fur to withstand the cooler temperatures of their mountainous habitat, giving rise to the deep, luxurious manes that can appear almost black. Unlike their savanna-dwelling relatives, these lions tend to be more solitary, often hunting alone or in small prides. They primarily prey on mountain-dwelling animals such as ibex and bushbuck, showcasing their incredible adaptability and hunting prowess. Their hunting strategies are often characterized by stealth and precision, leveraging the rocky terrain to ambush their prey. Number 11. Velociraptor. You've probably heard about these little troublemakers, but in case you still find them cute, the truth is they are far from it. These creatures may only be 2 feet tall and 6 feet long, but don't let their size fool you. With a sleek, aerodynamic body, velociraptors were built for speed, capable of sprinting at impressive velocities to outmaneuver their prey. Forget about the lizard skin you see in the movies, these raptors actually had feathers, just like birds today.
The fossil evidence for feathers may be clear and incontrovertible, but why would a flightless predator like Velociraptor need feathers in the first place?
There are different theories about what these feathers were like. Some say they were small and fluffy, like a chicken, while others think they were more like a green parrot. But it's not just their appearance that's scary. These creatures were ferocious hunters, with their biggest weapon being their 3-inch long claws. Their claws were like sharp blades, piercing through the flesh of their prey and letting them bleed out while the raptor waited for them to die. And the most terrifying thing is that they hunted in packs. We can't think of any animal that would stand a herd of these fast-paced dinosaurs. And to make it even worse, they were masters of surprise attacks, covered in feathers that provided both insulation and camouflage.
Velociraptor feathers would have helped to control movement.
Velociraptors could blend seamlessly into their surroundings, making them stealthy ambushers. With a fierce intelligence and quick reflexes, they were the ultimate killing machines of their time. Number 10. Megalania. Megalania, a gigantic reptile from the ancient Australian wilderness, was the embodiment of terror in the Pleistocene era. This is a deadly creature of over 20 feet long and weighing nearly 1,300 pounds. This giant lizard, a distant relative of modern Komodo dragons,
it does share close relation to Komodo dragons, and because of that, a lot of portrayals kind of take a lot of inspiration from Komodo dragon.
Was the largest land-dwelling lizard to have ever existed, and it was as deadly as it was massive.
As far as we've discovered, Megalania is the largest lizard to have ever walked the earth.
Its enormous size made Megalania an alpha predator, but it was its variety of unique, terrifying features that cemented its place as a true killing machine. Megalania had razor-sharp, serrated teeth, each capable of slicing through flesh. According to legend, these teeth weren't just for tearing prey apart, they were also packed with deadly bacteria, turning even a minor bite into a fatal infection. Once bitten, prey could try to flee, but they were marked for death as the venomous bite would weaken and slowly kill them as Megalania followed at a slow, patient pace, waiting for its victim to collapse. Its claws were equally terrifying, long, curved, and incredibly powerful, perfect for ripping through thick hide and muscle. These claws could also tear into the ground, allowing Megalania to ambush its prey from hiding spots. This reptile had a muscular, snake-like body that could move with surprising speed for its size, and with a flick of its massive tail, it could knock down creatures as large as kangaroos or early humans. The very sight of Megalania stalking through a bush, its forked tongue flicking in and out as it sniffed the air for prey, would have been enough to freeze even the bravest hunter in terror. It wasn't just a predator, it was a slow, inevitable force of death, hunting without mercy or fear. Number 9. Deinonychus. Standing about 10 feet long and 5 feet tall at the hip, this fearsome dinosaur was built for speed and flexibility, with a slender, muscular frame that made it a formidable foe. Its most distinctive and fearsome feature was the large, sickle-shaped claw on each foot, measuring up to 5 inches long, capable of slashing through flesh with deadly precision. The skull of Deinonychus was equipped with a series of sharp, serrated teeth, ideal for gripping and tearing into its prey. Its keen eyesight and acute sense of smell allowed it to track down smaller dinosaurs and other animals with remarkable efficiency. Its long, flexible tail aided in balance and agility, enabling it to make sharp turns while pursuing prey. Many experts even believed that they had a feathered body, leading some to speculate that birds may have descended from these deadly creatures. But the scariest part? Their speed. Deinonychus were quick on their feet and could even climb trees to escape predators. In the world of dinosaurs, Deinonychus were the fearsome reminder of nature's brutality and the primal instincts that drove survival. Number 8. Purosaurus. Many of us have seen a crocodile before. An average crocodile, like the Nile or saltwater crocodile, typically measures between 14 to 17 feet long. Some can even grow up to 20 feet or more. However, the Purosaurus is far bigger and more terrifying than any crocodile you've seen. This creature is twice the size of the largest crocodile in our age and time, weighing in at a staggering 18,000 pounds. Scientists call it one of the largest and deadliest crocodiles to ever exist. Purosaurus was a prehistoric giant, a massive predator that ruled the swamps and rivers of South America during the Miocene epoch. Its enormous size made it a terror in its watery territory, capable of overpowering almost any creature that dared cross its path. But size wasn't Purosaurus's only weapon. Its massive jaws, easily over 6 feet in length, housed different conical teeth that could crush bone and tear flesh with devastating force. Purosaurus had one of the strongest bite forces in the history of the animal kingdom, capable of ending the existence of a prey with a single bite. Its diet likely included giant turtles, large mammals, and even other predators. Nothing was safe from its crushing grip. Its skull was designed not just for strength but also precision, allowing Purosaurus to clamp down on its prey and thrash it violently, dismembering even the largest animals with ease. With a bite force capable of rivaling modern-day crocodiles, it could drag massive creatures underwater, drowning them before ripping them apart. Adding to its terror was Purosaurus's stealthy nature. With eyes positioned high on its head, it could lie in wait, submerged just beneath the water's surface, invisible to its prey until it was too late. Its ambush was sudden and deadly. One moment of carelessness, and its victim would be pulled into the depths, never to surface again. The thought of encountering a creature like Purosaurus in the wild would have struck fear into any living thing, for once it had anything in its jaws, escape was impossible. Number 7. Jacalopterus. Measuring over 8 feet long, this massive predator was a nightmare. Armed with long spiked claws and an armored exoskeleton, it was a predator that struck fear into any creature unfortunate enough to share its waters. Its most fearsome feature was its massive pincers, capable of snapping prey in half with horrifying speed. These claws were equipped with sharp, serrated edges, allowing it to slice through flesh and crush bone with a single, devastating clamp. Once its claws latched onto a target, there was no escape. Its prey would be dragged helplessly into the gaping, tooth-filled maw that lay beneath its alien-like eyes. Jacalopterus wasn't just a brute, it was a highly efficient predator. Its segmented body was streamlined for speed, allowing it to move through water with terrifying flexibility. With swift, scuttling legs and paddle-like appendages, it could dart through ancient seas, ambushing its prey from below or striking with shocking precision from the shadows. Its compound eyes, able to detect even the smallest movements in dimly lit waters, gave it an almost supernatural ability to track and hunt down prey with deadly accuracy. As the largest arthropod to ever exist, it was a fearsome ruler of the seas, a relentless predator that turned the prehistoric waters into a deadly hunting ground. Number 6. Megatherium americanum. Isn't it fascinating how we often hear about a terrifying animal only to discover that it's actually an herbivore? We're talking about a creature bigger than an elephant. Well, Megatherium americanum, the giant ground sloth of South America, may have been a herbivore, but it was no gentle giant. Reaching nearly 20 feet long and weighing up to 4 tons, this monstrous beast was built like a living tank, and its sheer size made it one of the most fearsome creatures of the Pleistocene epoch. Now, you might think that being an herbivore means it was all peace and love, but that's not the case. Megatherium was anything but defenseless. Just its massive size alone would have been enough to scare off most threats, but if push came to shove, this giant could throw down some serious damage. Let's talk about those claws for a second. They were originally meant for tearing into trees and yanking down branches, but they could do some serious damage in a fight. If Megatherium felt threatened, it could rear up on its hind legs and unleash those claws with bone-crushing force. Back in those days, not many creatures, not even those scary saber-toothed cats, would have dared to mess with this armored giant. With claws like scythes, the strength of a bulldozer, and the size of a behemoth, Megatherium americanum was a gentle giant with the capacity for sudden, overwhelming violence. Number 5. Arctodus. Known as the short-faced bear, this ancient creature was the terrifying predator that dominated the prehistoric landscapes of North America during the Pleistocene epoch, approximately 2 million years ago. But the Arctodus was not as cute as it appears. Standing over 10 feet tall when standing on its hind legs and weighing up to 2,000 pounds, Arctodus was one of the largest bears ever to roam the earth. Just picture encountering a beast that could easily look down on you. Terrifying, right? But what made Arctodus truly terrifying wasn't just its size, it was its speed. Unlike modern bears, Arctodus had long, powerful limbs that were built for running. It could sprint at speeds up to 30 to 40 miles per hour, making it one of the fastest predators of its time. No prey could outrun this giant, and once it set its sights on a target, escape was nearly impossible. There are numerous speculations about its dietary habits. Some propose that it may have preyed on smaller bears if they were in close proximity. Other theories suggest that the bear was a scavenger, patiently waiting for animals to die or become exhausted from conflicts before seizing the opportunity to feast on the carcass. However, a significant number of scientists believe that Arctodus was an omnivore. The extent of its appetite remains a mystery, but one thing is certain, it was an imposing and voracious creature. Number 4. Leviathan. Leviathan, the fearsome prehistoric whale that terrorized the oceans off South America around 9 million years ago, was not just a large predator, it was an oceanic nightmare, armed with massive teeth and a jaw built for destruction. It was the embodiment of fear in the ancient seas, where even other massive creatures would have been wise to steer clear of its path. With a body built for power and a hunger for flesh, Leviathan ruled the prehistoric oceans with brutal, relentless force. This beast, named after the biblical sea monster Leviathan, measured over 60 feet long, and its terrifying jaws housed some of the largest teeth of any predator known to science. These teeth, sharp and conical, were perfect for gripping, tearing, and crushing its prey, making Leviathan one of the most fearsome hunters to ever roam the oceans. Unlike today's modern sperm whales, which primarily feed on squid, Leviathan was a hypercarnivore with a taste for large marine animals, including other whales. This dangerous predator was so powerful that it could take down prey almost as large as itself. With a skull built for brutal attacks, Leviathan would strike with the force of a freight train, clamping down on its prey with those gargantuan teeth and ripping huge chunks of flesh from its victims. Its head alone was over 10 feet long, giving it immense biting power. Leviathan's jaws were a weapon of mass destruction, capable of severing bones and crushing skulls in a single bite. With eyes positioned to look forward, this giant whale had exceptional depth perception, allowing it to zero in on its prey with deadly accuracy. The ocean in Leviathan's time was also home to giant sharks like Megalodon, and while both were great predators, Leviathan was more than capable of holding its own. Its strength, speed, and size made it a true king of the seas, a creature whose reign of terror was unmatched. Well, now we can sail the seas without worrying. Number 3. Beelzebufo ampinga. The name Beelzebufo was no accident. It was named after Beelzebub, a demon in certain religions, and it did live up to its demonic reputation. The Beelzebufo ampinga, more commonly known as the devil frog, was an ancient predator that instilled fear in the hearts of its contemporaries during the Cretaceous period, around 70 million years ago. This creature could grow over 16 inches in length and weigh as much as 10 pounds, resembling a giant toad straight out of a nightmare. With its grotesque wide mouth and bulging eyes, Beelzebufo was not just a terrifying sight, it was a relentless killer. The devil frog's unique adaptations made it even more menacing. Its large, robust legs enabled it to leap with astonishing agility, while its camouflaged skin blended seamlessly with its surroundings, allowing it to stalk prey undetected. Once it had its sights locked on an unsuspecting target, there was little hope of escape. The next animal we are about to show you moved with the speed of a modern-day cheetah, and instead of claws, it had a scythe-like beak capable of piercing through the flesh of its prey in a single strike. Number 2. Forus racidi. Standing up to 10 feet tall, they were armed with a massive axe-like beak that could crush bone with terrifying precision. Their long, muscular legs made them incredibly fast and agile, able to move at speeds of up to 30 miles per hour, chasing down anything unlucky enough to cross their path. Once they locked onto their target, there was no escape. With dagger-sharp talons and powerful jaws, they could easily tear apart animals much larger than themselves, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. Now, this list wouldn't be complete without one dreaded animal making the list. Number 1. T-Rex. The Tyrannosaurus Rex was the ultimate embodiment of prehistoric terror. Standing over 40 feet long and nearly 20 feet tall, this beast was the leading predator of the late Cretaceous, commanding fear and respect from every living creature. With its massive skull and jaws capable of delivering a bone-crushing bite force of up to 12,800 pounds, T-Rex could shred through the toughest armor of its prey like paper. Its teeth, some over 12 inches long, were serrated like steak knives, perfectly designed to tear through flesh and snap bones with ease. These teeth weren't just weapons, they were built for gripping onto struggling prey, delivering devastating wounds that bled out any unfortunate creature caught in its jaws. Despite its hulking size, T-Rex was deceptively fast. Its powerful legs and thick tail gave it balance, ensuring nothing could outrun or outmaneuver it. What made T-Rex even more terrifying was its intelligence. With a brain capable of complex problem solving, it was a skilled hunter, using its keen senses of sight and smell to track its prey for miles. Its binocular vision allowed it to focus on its target with deadly accuracy, ensuring its massive jaws always found their mark. Now, let's play a little game of imagination. Imagine a world where all these creatures still roamed the earth. Which one would you absolutely not want to run into on a dark night? And which one would you actually love to see in the flesh? Well, some might be thrilled to catch a glimpse of a T-Rex, although it has to be from the safety of a well-fortified viewing space. After all, who wants to be on the receiving end of those massive jaws? These deadly animals ruled their territory with unimaginable and ruthless acts, leaving a legacy of fear that still haunts us today.